Hey girl, if you're done with dieting and the constant starting and stopping of your healthy habits because, well, life, and you'd rather find a way to train for life instead, then you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Emily, habit and fitness coach and midlife boy mom. I've gone from frustrated dieter to now consistently and confidently living a healthy lifestyle, following the habit hacking systems that I'm now going to teach you. Think of this as atomic habits for women. I'm now helping other midlife moms like you feel and look good in their favorite leggings through all seasons of life, following my habit-based fitness programming. No more dieting, my friend, just training for life. So are you ready to habit hack your health? Then let's do this. You're listening to episode 292 of Habit Hack Your Health. Hey girl, welcome back to the show. I want to know, are you seeing all of the supplements folks are mentioning online, like on TikTok and Instagram? I sure am. They're talking about I lost X number of pounds because I took this pill or this liquid. And I know I am personally quick to add to cart, but then I don't really know what's working for me and what's not for like my actual personal needs and goals versus what someone has recommended on the internet that's really a lot of times just pushing it because they get a cut from the purchase, right? So I get it. When you're desperate for something to help you feel your best and feel like you're inside of your body, right? Sometimes you feel like you're not living in the body you're meant to. There's so many hormonal imbalances that all of the hard work you're putting in just isn't paying off. So you're like, girl, I will try anything. This girl looks great. She did this pill. I'm going to try it as well, even if it may not be the best fit for you. But here's the thing. Supplements aren't just a magic pill. You still have to put the work in. Supplement, like the actual definition of supplement, is something that completes or enhances something else when added to it. So you got to put in the work with your fitness, your mindset, your stress, your sleep, especially, and the way you're fueling your body as well. So you still got to put in the work, and that's exactly what we're chatting about today with our guest, Ashley Rocha of Ladywell. So let me talk to you a little bit about Ashley. She's the CEO and founder of Ladywell and a trained herbalist specializing in women's health. She gives women the tools to care for their hormones and well-being through targeted life stage supplements. Ladywell has helped thousands of women regain hormone balance, fix PMS, hallelujah, and improve fertility and gracefully navigate perimenopause to live pain-free, fulfilling lives. That's just all we really want, right? So Ashley is going to give us a few habit hacks when it comes to supplementation, but also share what healthy habits you can be implementing in your lifestyle to help support your hormones as well. So as always, make sure to stick around to the end of the episode for my takeaways. And Ashley actually has a discount code for Ladywell for all of our listeners too. So grab a pen and paper, open up your notes app. Let's go talk about supplementation and the healthy habit hacks you can do to balance your hormones and feel your best with Ashley Rocha. Okay, gang, I'm so excited to have Ashley Rocha from Ladywell on the show with us today. Ashley, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here.
Same. Well, the first question I ask every guest is, what is your favorite habit hack just saving your life right now?
I would say taking magnesium right before I go to bed. As a
Mm.
mom, I have trouble sleeping just because like my radar is always up. Even though my kids are sleeping through the night now, I'm like I still kind of wake up just preemptively for whatever reason. We're programmed that way. So I do have a hard time sleeping. And when I remember to take my magnesium, which we have at my company, which is just a spray that I spray on the soles of my feet, I sleep better, and I also notice I have better dreams. So I don't have stress dreams about work, which I can commonly have, or like, life stress dreams. But I have like lovely, like, fantasy dreams or weird dreams like on other planets. So it's like a lot better experience at night.
I love that so much.
Yes.
And I love that you spray it on the bottoms of your feet.
Yes, I used to take like a powder that you mix in
Hmm.
your a tea at night, but I just noticed that like I maybe had to pee in the middle of the night more, and I just couldn't remember to be consistent with it. But the spray is so much easier because you just like are laying in bed. It's like self-care anyway, so you just spray on your
Mm.
feet really quick, and then it's just really good for you because most women are magnesium deficient.
Mhm.
So you can get magnesium through your food, but most of us just don't get enough. So supplementing with magnesium is just a really easy way to help you with your balancing hormones, sleep, stress. If you get cramps, like it does so much. It's safer during pregnancy as well. It's one of the few things you can use during pregnancy. So it's really great for women of all life stages. And I particularly love it for sleep.
Yeah, definitely something to keep on your nightstand to remind you to use it.
Yes,
Sure.
it's right next to my bed.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Ashley, tell everyone a little bit about yourself and your story that's really led to what you do and who you help today.
Yeah, so I am the founder of Ladywell, which is a hormonal health company for women. I began this because it's a personal mission for me. We're a mission-driven company. I started Ladywell because I was thrown into this cycle of horrible hormonal imbalances for over 2 decades. I would have just like my 1 week a month was taken down with these really intense mood swings. And I really didn't know what that was for 2 decades. I went to my doctor. They told me to take hormonal birth control, SSRIs. They told me it's just PMS. It's totally normal. Like, just go about your day and just deal with it. And that was what I thought was true. And it wasn't until my mid 30s that I was trying to try to have kids and I was having a slow time getting pregnant. And I started putting the pieces together. I'm like, there's something going on with my hormones. Like, I've had these like mood swings my whole life that have disrupted so much of my relationships, productivity at work, just really have negatively impacted my life. And so I started trying to solve these issues for myself because I wasn't getting the help in my mainstream medical system. I'm an herbalist, so I studied herbalism. So I knew that the plant world had such amazing plants that can solve so many issues. So I just started looking to the plant world for women's health. And I started finding, just all these amazing herbs, adaptogens, just vitamins, everything that could help me. And so I started piecing together a plan. I worked with functional medicine doctors to help me with the individualized plan. And it was like within 6 months of starting this journey that I was able to get rid of my PMDD, which I've had for 2 decades, like, and it drastically changed my life. I was a much more fulfilled, happier person. And I eventually got pregnant with two baby boys as well. And it was just a journey that took me so long to get to where I was. But thankfully, I did come out of this hormonal roller coaster imbalance and have, lived such a better life since then. I don't get taken down by these intense mood swings every month like I used to. And I'm just more aware of my body in general. And I'm here to help women on their hormonal health journey. There's a lack of knowledge really about our hormones and what they mean for us outside of fertility and for just regular life and, really with fertility as well. So Ladywell was created as a way to bring plant-based solutions and natural solutions to women, whereas there isn't a lot of them out there. And that took me so long to find that information. I just don't want other women to be on that struggle journey for so long like I was.
I think a lot of times we overcomplicate things when you just get back to the basics and what God put on the earth. There's a lot of things out
Yes, yes,
there
yes.
to help us versus overcomplicating it. And our hormones can feel really complicated at times, especially when you think about a woman. I was just talking to another guest about this, like we go through puberty, men go through puberty as well, but then we maybe go into pregnancy, then it's postpartum, then we go into perimenopause, then it's menopause. And there's so many different fluctuations of our hormones. And like you said, it's really hard to find the answers that are right for you. So I love what you're doing. For our ladies listening today, Ashley, what would be some of the first signs to look at with their body or even like an inkling in their gut and in their mind that maybe my hormones are a little imbalanced in some way?
Yes. So there's many symptoms that can come from hormone imbalance. Your hormones really control everything in your body. They're like the CEOs of your body. I like to describe hormones as like your internet connection. So if your internet connection is going in and out, if it's not strong, your body's not going to work optimally, and messages are going to, not make it across the body. You might have all these things that kind of fall apart. So irregular or missed periods are clearly a sign of hormone imbalance. So that's a really easy one. If you have mood swings, anxiety, or depression, that's a sign. I had that. It's very common with PMDD. Those are like the emotional pieces of PMS
Mhm.
just dialed up.
Yeah.
Fatigue, low energy levels. So if you feel like you're getting enough sleep at night and you're still waking up just drained in the morning, or you had that 3 o'clock slump, that can be it. Unexplained weight gain or just difficulty losing weight in general. So at different phases of your life and your hormonal health journey, you'll have like maybe a spare tire in your stomach, or thigh, hip and thigh fat. So these are all can be signs of hormone imbalance. It might not be that you're not working out enough or not eating the right diet, because you can still be doing those things and not be able to lose that weight. And that can be related to your hormones. Trouble sleeping, I talked about this with my own personal journey. Frequent wake ups at night. This is really common once you become like you move into your 40s during perimenopause and 50s. I think most women will experience this. It's real hard to avoid. And that's why I think magnesium and sleep supplements can be really helpful. And then low libido, that's maybe really obvious, but low libido is very common in women, and a lot of it's linked to our hormones and just hormonal imbalances and our lifestyle in general. And then digestive issues like bloating, constipation, diarrhea. Those can be hormone related, and your hormones and your gut health are really intertwined. For me, I had estrogen dominance, and that means like I wasn't getting rid of the excess estrogen that I didn't need every day, like through my poo. You basically secrete it out of your body. And if your stomach is not working properly, your gut is not working, that extra estrogen will just be recirculated to your body, and that will lead to something like estrogen dominance, which can cause PMS and PMDD and those imbalances that we're talking about.
So many signs, so many different
Yes,
signs.
acne, skin
I
issues.
mean, we could go on and on, but I feel like a lot of times I think women, like maybe you're feeling okay in your body or in your skin, and all something just feels off. And you're like, and I think a lot of times these signs may be common, or you are talking to other women experiencing the same thing, but it shouldn't be the norm. Like there's a lot of other resources to help you out there versus, like you said, just going on hormonal birth control or what we think is the answer, and not necessarily getting down to the root cause and helping balance those hormones. What are some
Yep.
things we could do naturally to help ourselves and our hormones, maybe with our nutrition or exercise?
Yeah, you should always look at your hormones and health in general from a holistic standpoint in your whole lifestyle. So you have to be exercising, eating properly, taking the right supplements. Supplements aren't something you can just take and go sit on your couch all day and eat McDonald's. Like, it all has to work together. And it's a give and take. Like, life is hard and we're busy all the time. So you can try your best in different aspects of your life. And I think supplements are great because it's like a hack in a way. Like, and the reality is in America, like our food system is broken, and we can't get all the nutrients we need from our food. Our foods are depleted, our diets are poor. Whether we think we're eating healthy or not, a lot of the times the food aren't as high quality as we need them to be. So I always think that women should be taking multivitamins and making sure that they're kind of covering their bases in terms of their nutritional needs. I think that being proactive about your health is super important, and being proactive about your hormones. Even if you feel like you don't have hormonal issues right now, you want to avoid having them in the future. So
Mhm.
that's why we have a daily hormone balance, which is really good for people with issues in hormone imbalance, or people who don't even think they have hormone imbalance issues. But it includes amino acids, vitamins, adaptogens, herbs. Adaptogens are so good for everybody because they help your body's resilience to stress. And so one of the tips I was going to say was avoid stress, but we all know that avoiding stress is almost impossible. But what you can do is you can control your body and how you react to stress. So incorporating adaptogens helps improve your body's reaction to stress. So if something comes in, you just roll with the punches more instead of like clenching and having that physical reaction, which will lead to the diseases later on in life or the hormone imbalances. So incorporating supplements that have adaptogens is really great to do as well. What for me personally, changing my diet really helped significantly in my hormonal health journey. So I started eating more protein. I started eating eggs every day, and like that's really helpful for fertility. And just avoiding sugar, caffeine, like too much caffeine and alcohol is really hard on your hormones, especially if you wake up in the morning and you drink a cup of black coffee on an empty stomach. That's just going to spike your cortisol really fast. And that's not the first thing you want to do in the morning. So making sure you're following little hormonal health tips like that is by eating before you drink your coffee and just keeping your blood sugar constant throughout the day. And then, of course, you want to really eat organic and avoid endocrine disruptors however possible. So that's not just organic food, that can be the packaging food comes in, avoiding plastics as much as possible, not reheating your food in plastic containers, ditching those nonstick pans, ditching the candles with the artificial fragrances, ditching the laundry detergent that has the scents in them or perfumes, and just like really cleaning up your skincare routine and just anything that's you put on your body. Anything that touches your skin and is in your environment, just trying to clean all that up. And those little steps will collectively matter in the end. Each little thing you do will add up to a bigger thing.
Well, it's so funny you said like I feel like I'm going in phases just in my own life because now I'm looking at like okay, what products are we using in our home that are not so great for us in general? Like you said, laundry detergent, the makeup we use, soap, the containers we use to reheat things. A lot of
Yep.
folks don't realize a lot of those things have chemicals in it that can disrupt your system. And I love that you mentioned supplementation as well. And I want to remind folks that supplementation is just not a magic pill you take one time. It takes time. Like I'm actually on a supplement journey right now, working with a functional doctor, and I'm estrogen dominant as well. So I'm taking some supplements to help with that. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready to see the results right away. And I'm like, okay, I have to be patient, just like it is with
Yes.
lifting weights. You got to work that muscle,
Yes.
let your body adapt or clear out anything that's happening as well. So just small little tips like that, you said over time can really add up. You don't have to do it all at once. Like I said, I'm just starting to look into household items. I really focused on movement and protein and supplementation. I'm going to look at what's around in my home because I know we are very overwhelmed as women, unfortunately, in our life. So if we can kind of take it slow and not get stressed out from trying to habit hack our health, it can be really advantageous for us for sure. Now, what about some maybe habits that aren't serving us and our hormone journey so well? I know you kind of mentioned stress being one. What are some other things maybe we're doing as women that we don't even realize that are kind of affecting our hormones?
Yeah, I think a lot of us we don't take care of our sleep. And I know I've talked about sleep a lot, but sleep is so important. Sleep, like if you had to prioritize going to the gym, waking up really early to go to the gym to work out versus getting that extra hour of sleep that you might need, I would say the sleep is better for you than working out because our sleep is so necessary and restorative. I think we don't have great sleep hygiene in terms of going to bed at the same time every night and making sure that we're having a good circadian rhythm. I think there was a study done of nurses who worked the night shift and like their circadian rhythm was off and they had a higher like a lot higher infertility levels than women who didn't. And so your hormones really can get messed up if your sleep and circadian rhythm are off. So going to bed at the same time, trying to ensure that you have good sleep through supplements if that's something that you need to do. And then yeah, I mean, just I think that's one of the most important
Mhm.
things. I think gut health, I talked about that a little bit,
Mhm.
but making sure that you're eating probiotics and just prebiotic food in general is always going to be helpful for your health. Um, you shouldn't be taking a bunch of antacids. Like I was taking so many antacids when I was in my 20s, and when I look back at it, I was like, I should have like had a red flag there, but I didn't. Like you should, antacids are really bad for you. So if that's something that's like in your lifestyle, you should look at your food and just like your life in general. And then
Yeah.
of course, like minimize your stress and, you
Mhm.
know, practice mindful tips, like meditation when you need to and things like that.
Yeah. Well, it's like we're not getting enough sleep or quality sleep. We're stressed out. We're worried about our kids. Then we wake up first thing in the morning. We're tired and we're like, okay, I got to drink my coffee on my empty stomach. And it's just like a vicious cycle, right?
Yes, yes. It's hard to get off that roller coaster, but
I know, for sure, for sure. I've been personally drinking a big thing of water with electrolytes first thing in the morning since I wake up a little dehydrated anyways. And a lot of times I'm not hungry first thing in the morning, and I like my coffee ritual because I tie a lot of other habits to making my coffee, but I'll even just take like a big spoonful of yogurt and just eat that at least just to have something in my stomach before I eat because
yep.
that's been a challenge for me because I have a lot of habits tied to my coffee ritual. I know a lot of my other clients do too. But it's just simple little tweaks like that that can make a big difference on your hormones. Now, Ashley, as we wrap up today, ladies are listening. We reminded them to take it in small steps, just see what happens when you just make these small little tweaks. We don't have to do this all at once. If they're listening, their kids are yelling in the background, they're trying to cook dinner at the same time, or maybe they're in the carpool line. What is just one simple habit they could start with today to improve their hormonal and balance?
Well, I think there's two things,
Okay.
but the first one I'll say is track your cycle.
Mm,
I think that a lot of people are doing this nowadays. I didn't do this. I didn't even know this was a thing for most of my life until like, I started trying to get pregnant. And then I was like, okay, I need to track my cycle. But tracking your cycle gives you so much data. It gives you so much power of knowing where you are in your cycle, how you feel during it. So you can plan your life around that better. You can start to see if there's things like start to see if there's trends. Like if I'm always exhausted 1 week before my period, I feel this way. Once I had that data in my life, that's when I really put the pieces together that I had PMDD and I had this like really, inflamed PMS. And I really just didn't put the pieces together until then because I wasn't tracking my cycle. So I was always shocked, when PMS came and then it went away. And like it was a surprise every time. But if you track your cycle, you'll have a lot more data. And if there's something wrong with you and you feel like your hormones are off, then you have a lot more data to bring to your doctor too, which is really important and they'll jumpstart that process. And then the second thing is take a supplement that helps with your hormones. So our daily hormone balance is something that I definitely recommend to everybody because once again, it has the vitamins that we're deficient in, amino acids, which will help with energy, adaptogens, which I say are really crucial. So adaptogens like ashwagandha, which will help with your sleep and your stress levels, and then herbs like chasteberry, which is really good for most women and for women's health. So it's a really comprehensive, robust formula. And it was created because I was piecing together like 20 different tinctures during my hormonal health journey every morning. And the reason why I created this formula was because I was so busy and I was like, this is not realistic for other women. And it's becoming less realistic for me. Like I'm losing momentum. So I created this formula that was really comprehensive and had everything in it that you need with only having to take one thing. So simplifying your hormonal health journey, I think is going to be easy because you can really overcomplicate things quickly and get confused, and then you'll just fall off the wagon with it unless it's easy.
It's so funny you said that because I was taking chasteberry as well, and I was taking like this other thing, and I was taking I think about like 6 to 7 different supplements, and I was just like, ugh, I just didn't like taking all the pills, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, then I would not do it every day because I was just like, I don't want to take all the supplements. So that's so
Exactly.
smart. It's
And
so
then you
smart.
have to be aware about how these supplements work together too, because you don't want to
Yeah.
take too much of one thing. And then
Yeah.
herbs really work best. It's called herbal synergy. So if they're paired appropriately with other herbs, it brings out great qualities in them. And the opposite can happen if they're paired in a really poor way with a different thing. So it's smart to just take something that's already formulated for you versus piecing together things that you have heard like fun TikTok that like are good for your health. Because you might mess something up, right? You want to
Yeah.
avoid that.
Yeah. Or like like I've been taking DEM according to my functional doctor for my estrogen levels. And someone was like on TikTok taking, oh, like, well, let's take some DEM. You might be estrogen dominant. So I think people were just taking it just because it was like, oh, maybe it'll help me lose like, the belly fat I've all of a sudden gained. And maybe I am estrogen dominant. And I think it's really important what you mentioned there, Ashley, is going and getting the data, figuring out the facts, like working with a functional doctor to kind of see where your hormone levels are. We call it knowing the facts, not just the feelings or the data versus just the drama. Because you're like get inside of your head and you're like, what's going on? I've been using a free app the past couple of years. I think it's just like Hormone Horoscope or something like that to track my cycle. And it's actually pretty accurate. Like every day, it even kind of tells me, like, oh, you're going to have a dip today and feel a little cranky. Maybe you want to take a nap or maybe you're hungry. And I'm like, that's right. I do. Oh, I'm in my luteal phase. I'm getting ready to start my cycle next week. But also, you can track
the frequency and whatnot and have some data, like you said. I love this. I could talk to you forever, but we'll make sure to link Lady Well in the show notes so everyone can go get their supplementation to help them and based on what their personal needs are. But Ashley, can you tell everyone where to connect with you and find out more?
Yeah, you can find us at Get Ladywell is our website, and then our social handle is at Get Ladywell as well. We have a lot of tips about hormonal health, and we try to educate. I think that's the most important thing. So
Mhm,
follow us
mhm.
there for education, and then also promotions of our products. And then I made a promo code for your audience, Emily20. You get 20% off any supplements at our website at Get Ladywell, and so you can find us there.
Super. Well, we'll link that in the show notes and we'll include that promo code as well in case you're driving, can't write it down and you forget. Ashley, thank you so much. It was so great talking with you. And thank you so much for sharing your expertise and knowledge with our audience.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Ashley, thank you so much. I love talking supplementation with you. She's so smart, you guys. As she mentioned, go to the link in the show notes. You can use the code Emily20 to get 20% off of Lady Well products. Thank you so much for offering that to our listeners, Ashley. Okay, let's, as always, talk about my three biggest takeaways with Ashley Rocha of Lady Well. So, number one, how do you know if you have a hormone imbalance? I think it's important you work with a functional doctor and track the data for yourself as far as your cycle. Maybe check in with your macros, making sure you're getting enough protein in. You can use a habit tracker to kind of see where your workouts are landing for you. Of course, always following a progressive overload program, like we mentioned inside of our Training for Life app and my signature program. But there could be a lot of different symptoms happening, and what we thought was the answer maybe might not be unless you are working with a professional to say, hey, that's a great supplement because you read about ABC, but you look like, EFG. And that supplement's not going to work for you, or these different supplements are going to counteract with each other. So start tracking some data for yourself. We always talk about getting the facts versus the feelings when it comes to our health, and then work with a functional doctor before you just start popping any type of supplementation to ensure it's working for you. Next, like I mentioned early in this episode, and Ashley mentioned this as well, supplementation just isn't like a magic pill. You still have to put in the work, right? Supplement is a great hack, but like she mentioned, we're not getting the proper nutrients in or moving our bodies in a way or that is helpful to us in midlife. But also, what is your sleep and your stress doing, girl? These are the two areas I personally have to work on more. I coach early morning classes. I hold a lot of stress in my body and tension sometimes, and I'm working on just letting it go and getting to bed earlier, right? So you still have to put the work in order to have those supplements supplement your lifestyle habits and what you're doing, or otherwise this kind of defeats the purpose, right? And then lastly, I love how she mentioned, another habit hack. This is something I'm personally looking into, like I mentioned on the show, kind of taking it a next step deeper, and you don't have to do all this at once, but just kind of look at what products you're using. Are you putting chemicals on your body or chemicals in the air with your candles? Are you using plastics versus glass containers to like reheat things, right? These little bitty things can really add up and be able to help balance your hormones, and you don't have to do it all at once, and supplements can certainly help. Now I have a bonus hack for you. If you've taken steps to figure out where your levels are with a professional and you're implementing some supplements, girl, you got to remember to take them, right? This is something I have struggled with forever, and something that when I work with a one-on-one client, a lot of times we do talk about supplements and create some very specific habit loops to ensure you actually take your supplements, right? You got to take them consistently and be patient for at least 30 days plus in order for you to actually maybe start to feel or see any type of positive impacts from taking supplements. And plus, of course, with the work we talked about as well. So we need to create a habit loop. So I'm taking some supplements right now, and my personal habit loop that is working for me is to take them at lunchtime. So my lunchtime habit, I'll usually start creating, I'm eating like a lot of breakfast for lunch lately. So I'll start creating my meal as it's cooking on top of the stove. I go and take my supplements out. I line them all out. And usually at that time, I've already done my workout. And after my workout, I'll take some BCAAs, my creatine, a little extra electrolytes. I mix up my little drink. I have my supplements there and I take them right as I'm getting ready to eat my lunch. So the cue is creating my lunch. The routine is taking my supplements. The reward on the other side is I'm taking them consistently, right? Do I miss a day here or there? Absolutely. But I'm way more consistent having this habit loop in mind versus just willy-nilly hoping to take your supplements. So again, go to the link in the show notes, use the code Emily20 that Ashley was so kind to provide to you so you can get a discount on any Ladywell supplements. But friends, I hope this was super helpful for you. And like I mentioned numerous times, I think it's important to focus on again, there is no magic pill, but supplements can certainly enhance the work you're putting in. And I know you're working so hard, my friend. I'm so rooting for you, and I'll catch you in the next episode. I am so proud of you for listening to another episode of Habit Hack Your Health. I don't want you to just feel inspired, but I want you to go take action. To help you do that, go grab a free 7-day trial inside of the Training for Life app. This is habit-based fitness programming that you won't find anywhere else. A full fitness library with workouts programmed around what we need as midlife moms, and habit trainings and accountability community to help you stay consistent no matter what season of life that you're in. Go to trainingforlifeapp.com to start your free 7-day trial, and let's start training for life together. I'm so rooting for you, girl. I'll see you in the next episode.